Miles, I'm so glad that you hung out with your sister Emma and you didn't sleep at all last night. Your dad called me to tell me that for the 15 minutes once a week that we get to speak to each other, and he never responds to any of my calls or questions about how you're doing and things that are important to you and your life. But he felt compelled to call me today to tell me that he had been up all night. You had been up all night having a fabulous time. And you were so excited about your drum lesson because God knows you've always wanted to be a drummer and nobody's ever encouraged you to play the drums before in your life before. Anyway, and then Grandma and Emma took you to the park and you were just, tuckered out at 8 o'clock. You were asleep. You've been asleep. I said, Bob, why are you telling me this? I already told you I'm not going to call Miles anymore on Saturdays. Could it be that you just want to rub it in? How happy Miles is with Emma and Grandma? Smells like a duck, looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, splashes like a duck. Probably is a duck. He said, well, I just wanted you to know. He said, so what do you want me to do? And I said, I don't know. If Miles wants to talk to me, you can call me if you allow it. Otherwise, you can't. So, ta-da. I said, I'm done. I'm very glad that Emma, you, and Miles, you are getting to be with you both, each other. Emma and Miles, Miles and Emma together. Monica, facilitating that is strategically inevitable, predictable, and I don't care. It doesn't matter. But I'm really glad that the two of you are finally bonding. And if you need to bond about not loving me and having a really fucked up, mentally ill, drug-addicted, alcoholic, screw-up, shitty, slutty, stupid, illegal, felonious parent, mother, in common, then okay. At least it brings you guys together. Let's hear it for camaraderie. Sibling. Let's hear it for nepotism. What I really don't care anymore. But Emma, you don't know who I am. Miles, you barely do, but you know more than Emma, Miles. And Emma, if you and Grandma are insisting that to be a part of the Donnelly family club, that we all know Miles needs a family. We all know that Miles is lonely. We all know that Miles doesn't have a Jacob and a Bailey and a yellow-haired mommy the way that you did when you bailed on the situation that was your birthright with me. He's by himself, and Bob doesn't give a fuck about him having peers. Or, wow, this thing at the Lost City last week was like, before that, I've always used my precious few hours with him to facilitate friendships with him and Tommy and other people in his class. His father has never. So, I shouldn't have said anything bad about that. I have to redo this. Emma, you don't know who I am. And Monica, Emma and Miles, I invite you to think for yourselves, and please use paper and pens. Emma, you're 18 plus now. Please go to 414 Washington Avenue in Grand Haven and demand your files from 2004 just until 2009 after Miles was taken, and check out what's written, including all of the very detailed parenting time notes, where it lists everything you said. All the times Jennifer gestured to hug Emma goodbye, and Emma said, yeah. Jennifer blew a kiss at Emma, and Emma went, Jennifer told Emma she loved her, and Emma said, I don't love you. I love my yellow hair, Mom. I mean, it's all there. And that's not to make you feel guilty. That's because I'm trying to make fun of something. That's just a fact. It's just a fact. Don't you believe that you both deserve a mom and a dad? You have friends that have a mom and a dad. Why don't you get a mom and a dad? Because your mom is so bad. Right, yeah, I'm gonna light this cigarette because I smoke, and that's that just illustrates how bad I am. How have I been bad to you that way? Whatever way. How much of your opinion about me has been told to you, and how much of your opinion of me has been experienced by you? Again, how much of your opinion of me, your mother, Emma, and Miles, is actually based on things that you experienced with me? And you said, she's fucked up, I don't love her, she's weird, I hate her. Versus things that you heard from people. Versus intonations you subconsciously, subliminally gleaned, which is 90% of what they call Parental Alienation Syndrome, which is a form of child abuse, which in the next 5 years will be listed as child abuse. And you guys are going to get to grow up as being living examples of survivors of Parental Alienation Syndrome, just so you know. Because it's when one parent decides that they want to get revenge on the other parent, so they alienate the child from the other parent. When Glenn and I were good friends, and I spent the night at least once every 7 days for the whole year after we were divorced. So it wasn't our divorce that broke us up. No. I mean, it wasn't our divorce that made him hate me. After he met Amy, I met Amy. She was awesome. It wasn't Amy. But then when my grandfather died and all the money came to the family, then everything changed. Bob and Glenn both hated my mother. Hated my mother. But then she became a multi-millionaire with my money. That's now your money. Kids, by the way, as you treat me with such fucking disdain, Miles is like, thanks, Dad. My mom talks so much. When I say I'm suicidal, she just rambles on about trying to encourage me. Jennifer, as long as your lips are moving, your ears are closed, if your mouth is moving, your mind is shut, and you frustrate Miles and you need to stop talking. But Bobby wasn't saying anything, and he was talking about hating summer vacation and feeling alone, and I was telling him about motivating himself and trying to encourage. It doesn't matter. Miles is sick of it, and I'm sick of it, and I'll hang up the phone unless you agree with me. I agree with you. I agree with you. Here's Miles. Thanks, Dad. You're welcome, son. That just happened 2 weeks ago. It's gotten that bad. That's why I'm out. I am out of the game. Please investigate your history and the motivation behind the versions of your history that you've been spoon-fed all these years. And once you start to question it, and all you have to do is get the facts, start interviewing people with a piece of paper and a pen and comparing the letters and the numbers, and they won't add up because they're lies. And ask, what did my mom do that was so bad? And everyone will say, are you seriously asking us, Emma? As if it's not obvious, Emma. And you can say, okay, it's obvious. Well, I'm a kid. Enlighten me. Humor me. You know what it is. I'm not going to tell you. They can't tell you because there's nothing to say. The lady doth protest too much, said Shakespeare. That's what you'll find. Ask Fernand. Ask Judith. Ask Mehmet. Ask Iskandar. Ask Jackie. Ask Pat. Ask Myra. Ask Stephen. Ask Connie. Ask Angela. These are people that hate my guts. Ever since my grandfather's heart stopped beating, or their father's heart stopped beating, or their grandfather's heart stopped beating. And I was supposed to be the wealthiest of all because I'm the only child of 7 children from Bernard and Virginia. Monica's the eldest. I'm the only child. And the way the fortune was divided, it was to be in terms of chronological order. So Monica was first, and I'm the eldest, and I knew them best. My grandparents. There are cousins that you guys have that have never been met. Bernard of Virginia, unfortunately, because they were wonderful people. And they loved me very much. And I had no idea how they were protecting me until they died. And you guys don't want to know. And I'm glad you're bonding, though. And if you need to bond by hating me, then I'm still in favor of it. Because I'm not going to live forever. Nobody is, really, but you guys have a longer road to toe than I do. So if I have to do an either or, I'd kind of hope that my son and my daughter and I would be, like, love each other. But a lot of people don't want us to love each other. And I invite you to ask yourselves and them why. Because it's way fucked up to tear a child away from their parent. Especially starting at 4 years old, Emma, like you were on August 3rd, 2004. You never saw your room, your leopard toy, the rainbows, the clouds on the ceiling, the mobiles ever again. It took over $115,000 in a year and a half for me to get you back visiting here. I did eventually. But why all this fighting? Who benefits? Cui bono? I don't. My mom was my favorite person. Yeah, I'm pissed at her now, but if she actually contacted me and said, Jesus, I've had my head up my ass, let's just make peace, I'd be like, cool, yeah, but she won't. Same with Glenn, same with Amy, same with Bob. If any of them, your mom, your dad, your dads, your grandma said, why are we fighting again? Isn't life short? Aren't we hurting Miles and Emma a lot? Kind of ripping their identity in half? Isn't that psychologically very damaging to them? No one seems to give a fuck about your psyche. They care more about the money. So anyway, here's a song I'm working on. To just keep things different. But Miles, Emma, please, ask questions, write down the answers, compare the facts, the dates, get your file from 414 Washington, Ranhaven, and discern. I can hear you, Sue. You're walking very loudly. Ah! That's funny. That's funny. Okay. She's such a bitch about how loud I walk on the stairs. There you are, knocking at my back door. I was so happy to see you. I let my towel fall on the kitchen floor when I was still wet from the shower, like when we first met. All of our friends said we'd never last. They didn't know all the Rabbis and soul stuff we had in our past. Mm-mm. We got the last laugh, the last laugh. It's too sexy to sing for my kids. Emma's gonna say, "What the hell my mom is? She dropped her towel after the shower." I didn't really drop my fucking towel, Emma. It's a song I wrote to sell songs. Like Lady Gaga. You like Lady Gaga? Like, she's on Star Search. You like her. Oh, she's like African American, but not really. She's like Hispanic. The big ponytail. It's all weaves. Oh, come on. What is it? Lady Gaga and... I can't think of her name. Hoochie Mom. You know, I'll find out later. You don't care. Ask yourselves, what kind of a parent would deprive a child of the love of their other parent? Even if their other parent was flawed, which I am. Doesn't that show flaws on the point of the parent that's so passionately advocating to keep love away from their child, from the mother that they made love to repeatedly, married, lived with? Bob didn't marry me, but he lived with me. Your dads didn't have any trouble making love to me a lot. Until my granddad's heart stopped beating, and then a bunch of money came to my mommy. And she once changed. Bye. Just think about it. Find me. I'm letting you go. Miles, I'm letting you go. But never. I'm just hoping that... I'm just waiting till you find me. In the meantime, I think I owe it to you and Emma to inspire you and get off my sad sack. Get off my weird little alky binge. Just move. Make a YouTube channel that actually matters, means something, and stop feeling sorry for myself for having lost you both, because you're both the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And I will always want you and love you. And I hope you both start asking the fucking questions of who, what, when, where, how, why, and writing the answers down, because you're going to find that they don't add up. If you ask Judith the same question that you ask Elaine, that you ask Angela, that you ask Sarah, that you ask Catherine, they won't be the same answers. And then you're going to start to say, well, wait a second, these are supposed to be major life events, which is why they wrote me off. Because I used to ask those same kinds of questions. So maybe you shouldn't ask them. Maybe it's easier for you to just think that your mother's a horrible, hateable freak. And I'll be dead soon. Then you'll feel really guilty. I'm just kidding. Kind of. I don't know. It depends on if truth matters. I raised you so that truth would matter. But in terms of Emma, it's not taken. Miles has an extraordinary amount of pressure on him, so I cut him a lot of slack. But not to the point where he stops paying attention. But Miles, do not. Here's the thing, kids. Do not ask these questions and do the same shit that your mom stupidly did and go, oh, Judith, that doesn't add up with what Angela or Jackie said. Be smarter than I was. Say, oh, okay. What year were you married, Judith and Mehmet? How old is Iskander, Judith and Mehmet? That's the first time I did that. When they started to hate me. That's all you gotta ask. How long? When did you get married, Judith and Mehmet? And demand to see something. Proof. How old are you, Iskander? It doesn't matter. Iskander was a love child. But they hated me for asking. And there's some other shit scandals in our family that are like a lot of love children in our family, in the Donnelly family. And that's not why they hate me. It's just kind of made it easier for them to hate me. Why they hated me, I think, or hate me, is because I am mental, and I had panic attacks, and I didn't go to family gatherings for years because I would have anxiety attacks, and I would tell my mom, I'm so sorry, and she would take Mark, who's like one of my favorite cousins, and he was marrying that smart, sassy, awesome woman at the Waldorf Astoria. I was all ready to go. You were all ready. I packed me. My mom was ready to go and take us, and then I couldn't breathe, and I was like, frozen peas from the freezer, frozen peas, reading a paper bag, sending flowers to the Waldorf, dozens of roses, saying I'm sorry. But what I later learned, my mom took you. And it revealed a lot, because my mom was like, oh, you're having anxiety? That's fine, I'll just take Emma. Emma and I will go. And I thought, I'm Emma's mom. You're not Emma's mom. If I'm having anxiety, what makes you think that you can just take Emma? And my mom basically said, because I can. And I was like, okay. Then somebody called friend of the court and confessed to being me. Am I a liar? Have I had sex with a lot of men? Yeah. Have I worked for the Grateful Dead? Did I work for George Lucas for a few minutes? Yeah. Have I done some cool shit in San Francisco? Yeah. Have I been a drug addict, alcoholic most of my life? Yeah. Have I been a musical, yeah. Am I a liar? No. Ask Joe, Emma, the guy you thought I should choose to marry. Because guess what? I might actually be doing that finally. Without you, but yeah. And, and David, who you hated and were so traumatized by. At least it wasn't like kindergarten for me, where I came home after learning how to read C-Spot 1 and having to shave that guy, Ronald James Kramer's penis hair in front of my mom, who drank this much vodka in a Waterford crystal goblet like she still drinks it from today, on the toilet in the bathroom, and saying, he doesn't want you, he wants me. And I'm like, Mom, I'm playing beauty parlor, I'm 5 years old. And Ron saying, do you enjoy watching my penis change shape as you play beauty parlor, Jennifer? And I'm like, I was intrigued by it because I'd never seen a penis really change shape. My dad was naked, but from a distance, I was 5 years old. So I turned to my mom and she said, he wants me, he doesn't want you. And then she did it again and again and again. And she wants me dead. And she's written that to Glenn, to Amy, to Bob, to Diana Spangler. She's written to Bud Spangler, I still hope to outlive Jennifer. She has written to Bud Spangler, I just can't wait to have some golden years after Jennifer's finally dead. Now, Emma, Miles, ask yourself objectively. Talk to the kids who have parents that you admire. Talk to those parents. Ask them what's the very worst thing that they can imagine happening in their lives. Talk to parents you respect, not Glenn, not Bob, not Amy, not Monica. Talk to objective parents and ask them what's the very worst thing they can imagine ever happening. And I bet you 99.999% of them will all say the same thing. Burying their child. Outliving their child is the very worst torture a parent could ever ask for. And yet, Monica celebrates the idea, has put it in writing a lot of times. And even though you might not have seen it in writing, and I will post it soon, stay tuned, I will. I think you don't have any trouble believing that she would say that, based on what she's already said. That's fucked up, kids. That's a wake-up call. A parent that wants their only child to die before they do is not mentally sound, is not a good person, is not an honest person, and does not have your best interests at heart. And that is Monica Donnelly. And Glenn and Bob know that. And they don't care. Ever since the money came, the money that you get is from me. It's not from Monica, and it's not from your dad, and it's not despite me, it's because of me. You should know that, Miles, before you act all shitty. You should know that, Emma, before you act all shitty. Monica didn't make you any money. Bernard and Virginia did, and they loved me, and they bequeathed money to my children, you both. That's how you're getting it. It's not because of your father. And all the money that your fathers are taking to litigate, to keep us apart, is stealing from your future. It's stealing from your college fund. It's stealing from your mortgage. It's stealing from your travel fund. It's stealing. That's the truth. Ask questions, write down the answers, compare the facts, and decide for yourself. But do think for yourself, because I'm not living forever, because I don't want to. I hope you figure it out before we have a chance to hug. Regardless, figure it out. Love to you both. Glad you're loving each other, even at my expense. I've never lied to either one of you. I might have seemed crazy and acted crazy, but I've never been a liar, nor have I ever been delusional. Think about it. Get distance. Focus on the facts.